Hi, I'm Matt Shira with PSRPA, and welcome to Civics Explained. When we talk about founding documents like our national or state constitutions, it's easy to think of them as immutable laws handed down from our forebears in perfect form. But in reality, they've been amended and expanded many times over the past 2.5 centuries. In fact, they were designed that way. The founders knew that they couldn't think of everything and that the world would change over time, so they built in a system to update the Constitution through amendments. While they wanted the Constitution to be amendable when needed, they didn't want it to be a casual process. To introduce a constitutional amendment requires a yes vote from 2/3 of both the House and Senate, and ratifying it demands approval from 3/4 of state legislatures, 38 states. The first 10 amendments are known as the Bill of Rights and were ratified in 1791. Since then, the U.S. has only ratified a total of 27 amendments, the most recent in 1992. State constitutions have similar mechanisms for amendment, though they tend to be updated more frequently. In Pennsylvania, for example, a proposed amendment must be approved by 2 legislative sessions and a public referendum. Pennsylvania has not only had many amendments, but several whole new constitutions, with its most recent one adopted in 1968. While constitutions are rarely amended, most day-to-day governance is done through bills, which are usually heavily amended between their introduction and passage. Most bills start in a committee, where they go through many drafts, then are introduced to the House of Representatives, where they may be further amended, and then, if passed, to the Senate, where they may be amended even more before its final passage or failure. Amendments may be made from a desire to improve the bill, address an oversight, or accomplish a strategic end. Budget-related bills follow special rules designed to ensure fiscal responsibility and avoid delays, particularly since the Congressional Budget Act of 1974. Congress first sets the national budget, then passes appropriations bills to fund specific programs. Congress can fast-track some changes to the budget using a process called reconciliation. Unlike other bills, reconciliation doesn't require the president's signature and only needs a simple majority vote to pass. Debate is limited to 20 hours and there is no chance of filibuster. Reconciliation bills are focused entirely on finances and cannot include any budget provisions at all. Sometimes Congress can't reach an agreement on a budget in time for a deadline, in which case it can pass a continuing resolution to keep funds flowing and avoid a government shutdown. Continuing resolutions can last for as little as a few days, or as long as the full fiscal year, but do not allow for changes or new programs. They just act as a stopgap measure. If a continuing resolution fails, it leads to a shutdown and disruption of government services. Employees who are deemed non-essential are furloughed, and essential employees may be required to work, but may not get paid on time. Congress still collects their regular paychecks during a shutdown, however. The longest government shutdown to date lasted more than a month, between December 22, 2018 and January 25, 2019. Finally, Congress has the authority to rescind funds after they've already been appropriated. This can happen because the funding turned out not to be needed, or to reduce spending. The president can request a rescission, but only Congress can approve one. Here in Pennsylvania, the process is similar. The budget must be balanced, and the state cannot spend more than it collects in revenue. Unlike the federal government, however, the Commonwealth government doesn't automatically shut down if a budget fails.